Hello, this is Manny, and you're listening to Feliz Christmas, Merry Navidad, the bilingual, multilingual Christmas podcast. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, you guys are all fine. Today, December 20th, 2021. This will probably be the last episode I record this year. I failed you guys miserably on my daily blog, but whenever you have a real life, these things happen. But just to make up for that, I have a very special guest. How about you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, it's Kim from Planning for Christmas.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Manny?
I'm doing pretty good. Did you? So I guess you got my Venmo. So you're on my show on Christmas week, right?
I did. Thanks. That's really going to help me finish up my Christmas shopping. So
Nice. So that's gonna help me, get more listeners this year since I keep breaking my promises.
well, we want to make sure you get more listeners. So whatever it takes.
All right. And planning for Christmas. I think the name speaks for itself, but I've heard all your episodes, but let's catch up till today. And I'm gonna put a real scenario that's happening to me right now. I haven't bought all the gifts for my nephews and nieces and godkids. So how do I plan for that, and how do I make it happen?
Well, I guess my first question is how old what's the age range of all these kids?
All right, let's start with my goddaughter. One of them is 6 months old. The other one is 6 years old, her sister. And then my oldest nephew, I already have a gift for him because, Nintendo Switch, he writes a letter to Santa as soon as the game comes out. But then there's the 4-year-old, which he stopped liking the same stuff his big brother likes. So he got complicated.
Don't you hate when kids do that? You think you know what they like, and then they just switch on you.
Yeah.
All right. My next question to kind of go along with that is, how soon are you going to see them on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day? Like, how many days do you really have left to shop?
Honestly, I'm not going to see them until mid next year. We usually send a package that should be arriving around this time. But knowing and seeing how the post office, UPS, and FedEx all got together to mess up everybody's deliveries, we decided to skip the busy part, but we also kind of skipped the buying part of the gift parts too. So,
all right. And how far away do you have to send it? Like where?
Puerto Rico.
Okay, all the way to Puerto Rico. Okay. So I would probably
here's a bonus to make it easy.
Yeah.
My dad, he works with FedEx, so I have FedEx benefits to send stuff. So they usually go there overnight, but we just did a test package this week and it got lost. It arrived somewhere across town from here. So yeah.
Well, I would say that if you want to get it sent out soon, which could be like right after Christmas, is I would probably go shopping as soon as possible, because stores are really starting to get picked over. I went to Walmart earlier today and noticed, even toys and everything are picked over. And sometimes they don't actually restock stuff until, I don't know, it always seems to take till like February or later.
Yep.
So one thing I might suggest is, if you do some online shopping and get stuff sent to you, I know that even if you get stuff ordered by tomorrow, people are doing like 2-day delivery to get it to you. And then you can at least have those things to be ready to send out for like right after Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually planning on sending it after Christmas. The good thing is, being Puerto Rican, we could get away with it because we still have January 6th, which we also give gifts there. What's been really fun is, for example, our good friend Amazon. For example, for my wife, I told her part of the things that I was getting. It was aqua shoes, because we've been looking for a good pair of aqua shoes to go to the lake, the beach, and all that.
Yeah.
And on that specific item, it keeps saying payment declined, address invalid. They keep canceling the sale. I've bought, I don't know how many things on Amazon, like and I even bought put them in the cart as part of another order, and everything got here except the aqua shoes. And then today, out of nowhere, I received my pair, but not hers. So I told her what I was trying to buy. So I don't know if there's something in the coding for aqua shoes itself, but 99% of the other stuff that I did order from Amazon, I got a week or two later. But the aqua shoes, it was just hilarious. I mean, it kept giving me different error messages, like update your payment method. So I even went as far as to loading the Amazon balance.
Yeah.
So I could, just deduct it from there, and it said payment decline, and the balance just went back up again. I'm like, but then I got one pair today, and then I have a shipping for the other. But I know I have the shipping for the other through my USPS account. On Amazon, nothing shows up. So who knows if I'm gonna get 10 pairs of aqua shoes nets and not being charged for them.
Well, if you get 10, maybe let's hope you're not charged for all of them. But
Yeah, no, I already told my wife, and I know with the place over here where you go and return Amazon stuff, they just scan it and take it back. No hassle. They say refund takes 7 days, but it actually takes 7 seconds.
yeah.
But it's been funny, the things that's happened to us, my neighbors, in the neighborhood group, everybody's packages are all over. Even their Grubhub and their Uber Eats and stuff, they're just dropping stuff wherever they're not supposed to. And one of our packages landed in the street right next to ours. It's the same number, but it's not nearly the same name. So
yeah,
I don't know. This year is very special. I guess we're gonna have to endure something new every Christmas.
I think so. Yeah, I haven't ordered a lot to be delivered this year. I did last year for sure. This year I'm making stuff, and then I got some stuff in store. But I know they'll probably be like that last minute Amazon thing that I think of and have to get it ordered and hope it makes there in time. I don't know.
And here's the funny thing: Amazon, where I live, they don't have the same day or the next day. It's very rare to get the next day stuff. But
Mhm.
in my office, it's in a prime location. It's in the middle, actually, two Amazon processing centers, and they even up from the same day delivery to 2 day or 3 day delivery this year. So it's it's cool. It's a cool experience. I mean, it's inconvenient, so if you leave it for the last minute. But anyway, I tried going to the outlet malls right here next to my house, and I went into the first store. People were on top of each other, shoulder to shoulder pushing, and I just did a 180 and just walked right back out.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Did you find anything? Did you find what you're looking for?" I'm like, "I didn't even look. How could you work here right now?" And he was like, you could see people's expressions through the mask and stuff, but I'm like, it lasted probably 45 seconds in there.
Yeah. I know it's just crazy. And I mean, I know that all of the podcasts, like the Christmas podcasts, have been saying shop early, and I mean, even on the news and stuff. And I don't think people really believed that until
I
they actually went to the store at their normal, the normal time that they usually go, and stuff's just gone. It's crazy.
Stuff hasn't last long. I mean, my wife works retail, and when you remember when we were having that recording, that she brought a bags full of a bunch of stuff, and
Yeah.
the next day, none of that stuff. So if we wanted to buy duplicates, or if we were decorating and needed one other part, it was no longer there. And usually where she works, they bring toys, and there's different places that they have toys right in the strip of her store. But today, she tried going, and she only was able to get one item, and she was
Yeah.
there for hours after she got off work. And it's crazy. But I mean, we knew, like you said, it was advised that we were going to run out of stuff, but I would never picture not having options, because we
Yeah.
actually ran out of everything.
Yeah, and that's nothing that I don't even think last year, even with everything that we experienced running out of
No, last year
stuff.
there was no shortage.
Yeah. So
Like I said, we sent everything by this time. The package, it was a big package. We had to send part of the package in January because we had so much stuff. And
Mhm.
this year we haven't even put the bots together because we just haven't found this. It's not that we haven't looked. I mean, she works in the store. She works right there. We follow the same protocol since before we moved here from Puerto Rico. And this year's it's interesting.
Yeah, we have a good friends, and their daughter has her birthday's December 1st. And I was shopping for her birthday, and she just turned 6. And I couldn't find, like, she wanted like Barbies and just I don't know, there was a couple other things, and like the Barbies were all picked over. You couldn't find any of those. I went to a couple different stores and just didn't really find anything. So I was hoping to find our one for Christmas, but I mean, they were already gone before then. So
It's fun. I mean, you said you're making stuff, so I guess that's something that we all should be looking into, making gifts made out of love and not purchase, because the way it's going, I mean, I don't mind. I'm just surprised a little bit. I've seen a lot of board games and stuff like that, but we have like a whole case full of board games. Like, we like them, but I don't know how kids are gonna react. I mean, they're used to the touchscreen and the Nintendos and stuff like that. That you could find. I guess some of these kids have no idea what those are.
yeah,
But Legos, like, they have the crappy Legos. But then again, if they're crappy Legos, the kids also do already have the crappy Legos.
yeah,
And like the cheap, the medium, or the real expensive ones, nothing. But like I said, it's something, getting used to. Hopefully, for example, our goddaughters, we will see them. Those are the ones that we'll probably see the soonest. So I want to get them nice gifts, but I guess the way things are, I don't want them to think, Christmas is for expensive or big gifts, but
yeah,
we'll get them something meaningful. We have some stuff for them, but I do want to spoil them. It's
yeah.
it's it's our first year being their godparents, so
Well, and maybe you could also, I mean, if people think of, different things, I guess it's different, if you have people that you're sending stuff to and you won't be seeing soon, but if you're going to be seeing them, maybe doing like an experience of some kind. So instead of like an actual gift, like take them like somewhere, like to the zoo or, just something, and you can have an experience with them instead of just getting them presents. And I know that's not possible with everybody, but
yeah. I mean, it's worth trying, right?
mhm. Yeah, we just kinda have to think outside the box right now, and
The good thing is when we hang out with them, because it's my sister-in-law and her husband and my mother-in-law, we I don't know. I mean, we see each other, every few months, and we could be there for hours. We do have fun. So I guess we setting up for an experience for Christmas, it'll probably turn out better than I imagined, just because we do get along, since we have enough time to miss each other, but
mhm,
not enough time apart to forget how it feels. So I
yeah,
guess we could make that happen. I like that idea.
yeah, so that's yeah, another thing, like, when they get to see you guys, it's something they can look forward to, and you guys can get them excited, and but yeah, it's such a strange, I don't know, such a strange year, so
It's a strange year, a lot of changes. I mean, and I
yeah,
know, I know earlier, when the season started, you went through something, and I'm not gonna dig into that. But I do admire you so much, because I heard your 2 episodes right after that, and just trying to keep the spirit alive, sharing, for everybody, because I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean, we have to share the happiness, we have to celebrate. So yeah.
yeah,
And I do admire that. It takes strength. Like me, for less than that, like, I'm already like, oh man, what am I gonna do? But it's listening to your podcast and listening to the stuff that it makes the season worth it.
well, thank you.
Because it's the for me, it's more of the emotional things. I've been saying it since last year, and I've been saying it way before. Like, the habit of people telling kids that Santa got them that. I don't like the fact that Santa's getting some kids more expensive gifts than others. And
Yeah,
I've be even before the podcast, I've been telling people, like, only one person gave me like bad feedback, like, oh, don't tell me how to parent. Like, I'm not telling you how to parent. I'm just giving you an idea of, they'll be happy that mommy and daddy got him this, and then that Santa got him something similar to his friend. I mean, why would you want to
mhm.
make your kid feel superior than the other kid? So I got a PlayStation, oh, I got a basketball, but I don't like basketball.
Yeah, I like that. I saw something, I think earlier this year about that, and I know I've heard you talk about it, but I think so. I think it's, like that it's okay that, Santa doesn't get them the biggest, best, thing. And that, like, yeah, the PlayStation comes from mom and dad or grandma or whoever, and that Santa gets them some other, little things, and they're still special. And
Yeah,
So
because
yeah,
it's basically the magic of Santa. I mean, if
Mhm.
I know that Santa got me something, it could be like this little thing hanging out of the back control. But Santa got me that, I'll be excited because Santa got me that.
Yeah. One of my favorite things that I always remember, and I wish I still had it, that Santa got was in my stocking, and it was this like little bear that was plastic, and it was a he had a little top hat on, and you took the top hat on and you squeezed him, but he was like a bubble thing. So the bubble
Ooh,
wand came out of the top and you squeezed it and it blew bubbles. And like I still remember getting that and played with that like all day. And it was from Santa and it was in my stocking. And like I honestly wish I still had it or could find it somewhere.
well, speaking of stockings, I have my stockings in Puerto Rico. They're a symbol of decorations, but they're
Mhm.
by my fireplace. So I actually might use them this year.
That's that's one of my favorite things was always opening my stocking because you get like a bunch of little just fun things. And there's some traditional things that we always get in there and just fun to have that every year. So that's like one of my favorite things.
So I'm actually gonna try that. I've seen it in movies, I read it in books and so many books. And I mean, we've had stockings for I don't know, like 5, 6 years now, and I've never put anything in there. And we even have them set for weight. Like we could put heavy stuff in there, and they're not gonna fall. Like, what's up with me, man? Like, see, like what is up? Like, what's up with me? I'm
You
actually
better
gonna use
get
the
on that.
stockings. Yeah. And the problem. Oh, I don't know if it's a problem. It's just funny. My wife's name is Isabel. So I
Mhm.
have a stocking. Well, she bought me one with my initial, but we cannot get a stockings to save her life with her initials. There's nothing here in Georgia with the letter I.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I'm like, I don't know if there's too many people with the letter I that they buy it up front, but we haven't seen like the refrigerator magnets, the keychains, the stockings. We've been looking since last year, like the snow globes, like
Uh-huh.
anything that's to decorate with my wife's letter. They haven't
I'll,
been
ha-
able to get it.
I'll have to keep a watch out and see for you guys.
I don't know if it's just Georgia because I mean, when I think it's Georgia because we even went to Stone Mountain and then you have the keychains with the names and the initials. There was no
Yeah.
Isabel and there was no I.
Huh.
But you go to Orlando, like Disney or the Disney stores or the little gift shops or whatever, and there's Isabel, there's the eyes and stuff. So, but it has a bunch of like palm trees and Mickey stuff. But over
Yeah.
here, we haven't found anything. It's
That's
curious.
interesting.
I
Well, I'll keep an eye out and see what I find and let you guys know.
should just throw this out there as a challenge. In fact, I'm gonna put a poll at the end so the people that listen to the podcast on Spotify, I'll do a poll to see if they'll find it or tell me where to find it.
And that's a good idea.
Yep. And so one of the episodes I heard of you hadn't decorated yet. Did you decorate as you usually do? Did you catch up or you partially decorated?
So I decorated so I ended up decorating my parents' house because I just wanted to do that for everyone and make that feel special for everyone. And my brother and his wife and kids are coming in from California, and have it feel special for my dad and just everyone. So I decorated there. And then I hadn't decorated my house. And just a couple weeks ago, I think, time's just gone by too fast.
Yep.
But just a couple weeks ago, I did decorate at my house. I put up mostly everything. The only thing that I had up last year that I didn't put up this year was I got a 7.5 foot tree last year.
Mhm.
And so my other tree is like a 6 foot tree I actually put over in the corner. That's right over here next to me, but I did not put that one up this year.
Okay.
So, but everything else I think I pretty much put up. And I wasn't gonna put up as much stuff, but then as you go through boxes, you're kind of like, oh, I have to put this out. Oh, I can't not put this out. So it ended up pretty much everything got out.
Nice. We put everything outside. We were gonna tone it down on the lights, but there's a light pole out there that it's two houses down, but it shines right on mine. So with few lights, you could see more of the light pole reflect than our actual lights. So we did put all the lights and more than we had last year outside, but we figured out how to use LED extension cords. So we have one on one side and one on the other. And then the lights that we bought to go around and on top of the house, you could actually put, I think like 10, 15 chords, like, or
Oh,
sets
wow.
together, and it's made for that. But I mean, I still have them, like I think it's like 3 and 3 or something like that. I didn't want to overload it. I didn't want to test it while they were on. But yeah, I only have two extension cords, one going from one side of the house, the other one going. We put three Christmas trees like the one you see in the background, same
Yeah.
setup, just different decorations and three of the rooms. This one's gonna stay up all year.
And that's your gaming, the one that has all your
on
Nintendo
on
and
my Nintendo and gaming stuff. And
yeah.
since I mean, I have a Christmas podcast that I'm supposed to record throughout the year. I mean, I'm in everybody else's podcast except this one most of the year. So so at least to entertain all you guys when we're, doing uh these recordings, I'm gonna keep this one up. But I did not put out my Christmas village. It grew too much last year,
Mhm.
and I lost my whole dining room area and my dining room table, and I wasn't gonna sacrifice that this year because I like the dining room setup, like the ideas, because we never decorate. We just put something Christmassy on top. We worry about the living room and forget about the dining room.
Yeah.
But this year we did decorate it, and I had a dinner with some of my coworkers because we had a Christmas party, but I left town. And if I would have stayed in town, I probably wouldn't have gone to the Christmas party.
Hmm.
So I did invite some of the ones that I'm closer to, and we had a blast. And we finally used our dining table because we don't even use it on ever. Like we
Yeah.
have the stools by in the kitchen, so we use the counter over there. But yeah, and miss the village because there's a lot of pieces on it, but it's way too many. And 2 years ago we traveled, so we put out the village, and it was half the size. And we left for 2 weeks, so there was no point. And this time we left for about a week.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we're missing a week of that, it's really not worth putting out. But everything else looks pretty nice and cozy. And the other thing I skipped was the handle to go up and down the stairs. Like
Okay.
I just put the garland on it, but I didn't put any lights or any decorations because last year scratched the heck out of that wall, like trying to put lights and stuff. So I'm like, we tried it, and then my wife's like, no, I'd rather get, a bigger one that comes with the lights, that it's more fluffy, because that one's kind of rough on the wall. So we just left it on there with, but it's not decorated. But still, people were like, oh, that looks nice. I'm no, it doesn't. Don't tell me, because it doesn't look nice. But yeah, those are the only things we skip. But my house does have more lights. There's more lights around the house, more trees.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I like the idea of a Christmas village, but yeah, like you either kind of have very little or you kind of go overboard with it with all the pieces because they always come out with the cool pieces. And so I don't have one. My grandma used to have one when she was alive, and I always liked that. And I'm kind of sad I didn't get some of those pieces, but I don't really have anywhere to put them. So
yeah, that's what I'm enduring now. Like I miss it, and now that I talk about it, I miss it more. Earlier this year, there was a person on Facebook Marketplace selling the wooden shaped Christmas tree that you
oh
could put up.
yeah.
It was about 6, 7 feet tall, and he was selling it for $60. And those things go for way much, and it was well made. But with my work schedule being so hectic, I passed by the town he lives in. And when I got here, like I was in traffic for about 3, 4 hours. So to go back down there, it was even worse going back south. He's like, I'm gonna hold it for you for 30 minutes. If you're not here, then I'm just gonna tell the next guy. I'm like, I won't even make it, it would take me more than 30 minutes just getting out of my neighborhood area because everybody
Yeah.
was taking the shortcut on the local streets, and it was just as crowded. So I'm like, I missed that opportunity. But in that one, based on the specs, I would have been able to put at least, I don't know, half of the village,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't have taken all my dining room space. But those are lessons that we have to learn. And I mean,
Yeah.
and it's so cool to talk Christmas stuff.
It is. No, only my Christmas podcast friends really like to talk Christmas stuff with me.
At work, they thought I was crazy even before the podcast, because I used to hear other podcasts, like Christmas podcasts, throughout the year. And I started there in 2019. Like, what are you listening to? I'm like, a Christmas podcast, but it's July. Like, but there's an episode that came out this morning. So, or you're supposed to listen to Christmas podcasts in Christmas. They're like, I don't know. Like, who would have a Christmas podcast? Like, who's crazy enough to record it? And I'm like, I don't know. There's a few of them, but then when they put me in the Discord, and I'm like, holy crap, I haven't heard of, like, I've only heard of a few of these guys. And
yeah, there's tons.
Yeah, but I mean, I like it because people think that you're stuck on Christmas the whole year. But no, I mean, there's always Christmas references in movies, TV shows. There's always that Christmas store in the town that you drive by.
Yeah.
And that's open all year. I mean, why wouldn't you get excited to see something Christmassy like right before Memorial Day in May? I mean, I'm excited.
I think it's just spreading that enjoyment of the season like throughout the year, because it is a really special feeling this time of year. So if we're able to keep that spirit with us throughout the year, you're just, I don't know, just thinking about Christmas, it makes me happy.
My wife just brought me coffee.
Oh, she's always so nice and brings you nice.
Yeah, but she's in her jammies right now, so she's not gonna come and say hi.
Tell her I said hi.
Look, say hi. I like the fact that there's so many Christmas stuff. I'm obsessed with Christmas, but I'm not obsessed with Christmas in May. I'm obsessed with Christmas all year long. But the way we do it is we find something like an ornament for the tree. We get it because we know we're not gonna, like, it's probably a special edition that they forgot to sell or that it didn't sell, the year before. Sometimes I look it up and I'm like, oh my God, this thing's like $500 on Amazon. It's like $2 here. And I'll take it, or it's just that it's something nice and it'll probably look nice in Christmas. Funny thing is, it's happened 2 years in a row that we buy them and then we have them in that little bag in the closet right next to where the Christmas tree is, and Christmas comes and goes. And then this year we were able to put the things that we bought for the past 2 years, because there were a bunch of paper bags there, random paper bags in that closet. So I'm like, oh, ornaments. So,
yeah, I try to, if I get something that's not during the season and I already have my decorations put away, I try my best to at least stick it with or really close to the decorations, but there's definitely always a few things that you're not able to find. And
well, I have this tree as an excuse now. The tree behind me, I'll use it as an excuse. If I find something that we forgot, then I'll put it there. So next year, if not, then it's going to be,
But yeah, it'll be up already.
Yep.
Well, and today I was packing up. I did a bunch of baking and stuff this weekend and was packing it up for like my coworkers and people I'm giving it to. And I knew that I had bought some containers to put everything in and thought I stuck it right next to the Christmas stuff, but I didn't for some reason, and was just searching and searching. And then finally I was down looking at a different box and looked up and I put them like right in front of my face.
Hey, at least you bought the containers. I ordered mine to pick them up from Walmart. So I go there and I had to have a minimum purchase. So those like the to-go packages, they're like $3. So I ordered two. I'm like, it's $6 because we had the dinner over here over the weekend. So I'm like, I don't want to go into Walmart. So let me buy more stuff for the curbside. So I bought a bunch of other stuff. And then once, like 30 minutes before my order is ready, they said that they don't have that item and then there's no substitution.
Oh.
I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, whatever. So I go and pick up my order. And then when I'm over here, I know I had some containers to go, but I had like 7 or 8. And we made a lot of food. And I'm thinking about opening a food truck now because everybody loved my cooking. Like loved it. They were still talking about it today. So I have the 7 containers. They're pretty nice, but there were more than 7 people. And I'm letting them know what's happening. And then all of a sudden I get an email from Walmart. They're like, did you forget something? Do you want to add this to your cart? Like, it wasn't my cart. And you took it out and you charged me for it. And then you gave me my money back.
And now if I try to order it again, you'll still be out of it.
And then the funny thing is, I showed them, and then I go on the Walmart thing, and Walmart is very rare that it tells you if it has or not. So it says 16 available. I'm like, really? There's 16 available now. There were 6 when I ordered it, and then they were done. So now a few hours later, now there's 6.
I've noticed that because I've tried to look online at stores just to see, even if I'm not gonna do a pickup. And then it'll say like they don't have them or whatever, and I'll like actually go to the store and find what I was looking for. So I don't know right now how truthful that is. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Home Depot. I went to buy, oh yes, I went fancy. I bought the Ryobi, their Home Depot brand stapler, because I did wanted to put the lights around my garage edge. And I saw the other neighbors with their handle stapler. And yeah, if you're right in the middle, yeah, it'll click, click, you'll put it on. But then if you're doing the kind of in an edge, you go through the cable, you smash the bulb. And I told my wife, and she's like, so you paid extra money because, I mean, we're used to the other one. I'm like, yeah, but I just wanted to go clank, 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 like you see in the videos on YouTube. I mean, I wanted to try it. I didn't want to just squeeze and squeeze. So she was like, okay, yeah, you just like spending money. And a few days later, she saw one of our neighbors putting the lights. And she's like, it took him like 30 minutes just doing like 2 feet of lights. And I'm like, now you know what I'm talking about. She's like, yeah, yeah. I put lights around the edge of my garage. I have a deck behind my house, and I did put lights around it. And then I went underneath and I put some lights underneath, and that took me like 3 minutes. And there's like 3 sets of lights. So my deck is pretty bright. I mean, it's brighter towards the outside instead of the deck because the lights are all hanging out. But hey, I was just trying my stapler, making a statement. And
I'm sure next year you'll see all the neighbors with that.
well, I don't know if at this rate, I don't know if I'm going to see the same neighbors next year.
Yeah.
Because the houses here keep going up, so they're just selling. But I did like one of the new neighbors that moved in. The last ones were nice, but these like they decorated even before they put their stuff in the house.
Oh wow.
So that's points for them. I was about to go introduce myself. Hey, I'm a podcast nerd, and I have a Christmas podcast along with like 40 other people. Thank you for decorating before you moved in, but no, that was gonna be too much. But I know somebody did.
Maybe tell them like a little bit later after you've met them a few times.
I've been afraid of putting in the neighborhood because everybody has their little thing. Like there's kids that have high school podcasts where they do the news and parents are sharing it. I'm like, I'm going to put that I have a Christmas podcast. What if they actually like it? Or they think I'm famous or something, because I'm not. I mean, I'm still not at 15,000 people in a year and a half. So
Well, maybe you just need to put out more episodes.
that's true. That's true. Man, that's why. Oh, I had an offer to make money out of this. And I went back and forth with an email. They just wanted me to read something and play a song. I mean, the thing wasn't interesting, and the song it just had some bells in the background.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they even listen to the podcast or they just go in a directory and send this stuff. Because some of the other people received it. Some of them have no idea about this. But it was funny. They're like, oh no, we'll give you $100, for just saying this on your next few episodes. I'm like, dude, I won't even give you like 12 cents worth of people. Like, don't invest in me. I'm not really interested of making money in this. Like, no, but we'll, cross, it's a partnership. We'll advertise you and you advertise. I'm like, nope, it's not going to happen. And like, why? What do you have against making money? I have nothing against making money, but if I do this at my own pace, whenever I can, I'll just apologize. I mean, I do have a life, but I don't want to feel pressured because somebody's paying me.
Yeah.
That then I'll have to put as many episodes as they want at the speed that they want, or I'll have that pressure of, that I'm working for somebody else. I used to have my own business and I love the freedom. And my job, as complicated as it is, people flipping in trucks and doing stuff like that, I still hold a lot of creative control over my departments.
Yeah.
I don't get micromanaged. So the last thing I want is my podcast actually making me lose my hair again.
Yeah. Don't sell out for that.
No, I won't. And it was funny. I mean, because they gave me all my like statistics and I'm like, oh, look at that. There's like 2 more people than I added up. So, but yeah, I mean, I wish all these people looking to put these artists out there, the best of luck. But I don't mean to be cruel, but they sound that bad that not even, fixing their voices and stuff, then don't send them to me. I'm just saying this because I got a little bit aggravated in the back and forth. So I'm like, I'm not gonna mention the artist because probably the artist has no freaking idea that this is going. This is probably the agent trying to sell the story from somebody and the song from somebody else. But yeah, I mean, if you're an aspired singer, you want to be a famous singer and stuff like that, don't go to the agent before anybody knows who you are. Just go to your friends and then go to like that aunt that you don't like and play that song. And if she says that she likes it, then you're good. But if she makes the face and then kind of hesitates to say she likes it, then she doesn't. So that's just being honest. I mean, I'm not gonna throw the name out there, but yes, it was a pretty fun conversation. And I wanted to post it, like people do post it online, but messaging back with this person, like this person had their name on everything. It was like when you're reading a story, like this guy said this, and then me, I replied this, and this guy, I'm like, this is an email, man.
Yeah.
Like, so it was a pretty good exchange. That was not jolly at all. that was that Christmas. Yeah, I did give him a great Christmas gift, like give him the advice of back up, like don't do it. The story, on the other hand, it was pretty good, but I'm just gonna stick with Anthony's story for now. That's the only story I'm willing to talk about and read at a second grade level. But yeah, that was not my best reading.
I'm kind of glad mine only got the first half of it, of the chapter read, because Tom messed up. So he did the second half of the chapter because he recorded the wrong week. And I told Anthony I wasn't going to read it again, or a different chapter. But like during the second part of it, I struggled more because it was such a long chapter. And I was like in the middle of it, I think I was like, Anthony, I hate you. Why did you make I think he got a lot of comments like that.
I mean, I liked it. The thing is, I read mine as soon as he told me, because I started reading along, but then I started listening. So I kind of stopped and wait week after week. But then I had stopped listening, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 weeks, like listening to anything whatsoever because of work. And then, hey, you're up. I'm like, oh, crap. So I was way far behind. And I went and checked like the first part of the recording, like it was amazing, but then I couldn't get it in the same format as the rest. And my printer ran out of ink, so I didn't have it on me. My iPad was just horrible that day. I would zoom in and then it'll zoom back out, so it would be real tiny. Then I had it on my monitor and I was trying to read it, and after a while it went on standby. I'm like, so I was just holding my mouse and clicking on it so I could just go through there. And then once I thought I was on a roll, then I'm like, oh crap, I kind of skipped 3 rows. I'm like, trying to scroll, playing it cool. So I don't know. I did try like 6 or 7 times. So.
Yeah. I like listening to audiobooks, and I always thought it would be fun to be like an audiobook narrator. And now that's off my list. So.
No, you practically have to like learn the script to actually have the story. And I tried that too, but I just don't have the luxury of time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna complain because I do love my job. I'm blessed to have a job. I'm thankful to have a job. I mean, I could probably find Anthony, if he writes another book, enough people to read it for him, because there's a lot of people that don't like to work, but I do enjoy it and I spend a lot of my time in it. And hey, Anthony, like I said, I'm still sorry for it. This is horrible reading. My teachers would be so disappointed because when I was in first and second grade, I had a way higher grade reading, level. And even when I learned English when I was 7 or 8 years old. Like I won a spelling bee that same semester that I learned English in Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
So I won a few spelling bees, but like within the semester of learning the language and participating, that was.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I thought reading the story would be more fun than it turned out to be. But it's a good story. I'm waiting till every chapter comes out before I listen to the whole thing now. So
Yeah, I have to catch up. I did like my chapter, not because I was reading it, but it was a fun thing. I don't know if he chose it at random, but it's something that I would have either written about or told a story about. So, but if you guys want to read this, chapter 29, and you could hear it at the Tis the Podcast, wherever Tis the Podcast plays, which is absolutely everywhere podcast plays. So just look for it. It's Another Christmas Story by Anthony Caruso. So
yeah, it's worth checking out.
yes, it is worth checking out. I'm not going to say what it's about. I know there's a cat in my chapter and it's running around, and that's all you're going to get from me.
And Anthony, you can Venmo both of us at your.
Oh, you haven't gotten yours? I got mine. So that's why I'm saying it. He was like, "Are you guys recording it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Merry Christmas." I'm like, "Ooh, that's why I had my phone in my hand right now."
Merry Christmas. I'll Venmo you if you mention Another Christmas Story.
I'll send Anthony a voice. Hey, Anthony, Kim's still waiting for her Venmo. She already did promo. But being in the Christmas Podcast Network has been an experience. At first, when I recorded with Anthony, and when I was on the Tis the Podcast, but when I recorded with Anthony and Jerry, I was kind of starstruck because those are the main guys, or those are still the main guys that I listen to. And just being able to share time with them and have the conversations that we've had with them and stuff like that, it's been good. It's the whole network that helped me lift my spirits, because after last Christmas, I wasn't in the mood for anything. And I wasn't barely recording. CJ was making fun of me the whole freaking year for not posting anything. And, I'm back. I have lights. I've been around. I went to another country. I saw their Christmas or their Christmas spirit. And wow. Like, we have nothing on these people. Like, at least where I'm from or where I live right now, we have nothing on them. I'm going to try and go to North Carolina and Tennessee to see the lights in different places, because there's a lot of places famous for that. But going over there, from the poorest to the nicest places, everybody had lights.
Yeah.
And I got excited even when the lights were off.
Yeah, I love all my friends in the Christmas Podcast Network, and they've just been awesome and really supportive with everything, like with my podcast and just with everything that happened this year. And I really appreciate all you guys. So
all us nerds or
all you
geeks.
nerds. All you
Yeah, because people they call us stuff. But I didn't listen to podcasts before. Like, I started with a Christmas podcast and a Harry Potter podcast, just because I needed like background noise at work. There were people upset that I was either watching movies or listening to podcasts while I was working, but I was super productive, so nobody ever did anything about that. And before, I used to have the phone like in the little corner, but now I'm one of the managers, so I'll just put my iPad like on top of my laptop, folded, and I'll watch it. I'll watch it in the big screen now. People walk by me, what are you watching? I'm like, you can sit down right there, but I can't listen to you because I have headphones. But and it's always a Christmas thing. So then when they see it's something Christmas and it's not Christmas time, they think I'm crazy. Well, I don't know why they would think that, because I am, but I don't let them know I'm crazy. But I guess the Christmas stuff in October gives it away.
All right. Yeah, I listen to podcasts like driving because I had a commute to work, and it hadn't started out with Christmas podcasts, so it was some other podcasts that were, I guess, some more like pop culture and history podcasts. And then one day was at work and I was like, I wonder if there's Christmas podcasts. And I looked them up and I found Christmas Past and started listening to that. And then as you listen to different podcasts, they mention other podcasts. And so then I kept adding to my collection of podcasts. And I would say probably like the majority of my podcasts that I have in my library are Christmas podcasts right now.
It's being so many Christmas podcasts. What I love and appreciate is that all of our podcasts are almost completely different from the other. We could talk about the same movie in different podcasts, but it's never going to be the same the same drill, or it's never going to be the same conversations. It could be the same scene, and like each podcast has something special.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's amazing that there isn't much overlap
yeah.
for sure.
And one thing that I wanted to stand out from, it's my pay it forward, and it's something that I've been practicing for a few years. Pay it forward, like I've when I used to explain to people, they thought like just buying the coffee for somebody in line would make a difference. It does make a difference, but if you go with that intention, it changes the complete concept of it. I mean, I always encourage people to pay it forward all year long. That's why this year I didn't focus it so strong like I did last year on all my November and December episodes. But pay it forward is, like I've always said, it you could change someone's life with a smile.
Mhm.
I mean, by letting somebody go in traffic, like even though you might think it's your turn, you see that they're going. If you stop and you let them go, like here in Georgia, we have aggressive drivers, and I let people go, and you see the smile in their faces. And I don't, it's not that I'm bragging because it's something I'm not spending any money or anything, but it makes me happy. And like my wife, like she's like, look at his expression, like, because they thought they were had to get into an angry battle to go through, but no, you just wave and you smile, and you know what I mean. You could change somebody's the outcome of their day, the outcome of their life
I always
with
love
a good
just
deed.
giving random compliments. Like if you see someone and tell them that you like their shirt or whatever, and definitely get that. Or just telling people thank you, for what they're doing for sure.
It's always the little gestures. I don't I like that, for example, some random stranger would buy food for somebody else. I just don't like the fact that they'll put it on social media
Hmm.
or talk about it. Like here, I don't remember where I went and they bought my food. So I did the same thing, but because I was sort of like somebody like, oh yeah, that person paid for it. Oh, it was a taco place over here, Mo's. But the person, somebody just ran by me. I'm like, well, they have to use the bathroom. They're going the wrong way, but it's not. It's just that they paid for my food and ran away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, like that is so freaking awesome. Like I've heard of people doing it, but it never happened to me. So I did it just because my card was already out. I'm like, okay, so get the other one. The guy's like, you don't really have to do it. I'm like, but I kind of want to do it. Like I'm all
Yeah.
excited. I'm like, I wish I could pay for everybody else, but there was no more people like after that person. But it's the feeling that I got, and then I just returned it right there. But you don't have to do the exact same thing they do for you. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
It doesn't have to be the same, but just do something nice or say something nice.
like, for example, something that's coming to mind is the beginning of this conversation when I told you like my gifts, like I haven't bought all the gifts, I'm not ready or whatever. Who knows? Like, who hears that part of the episode and they get like an idea and like
Mhm.
crap, because not everybody has the same mindset. Not everybody could plan ahead so far ahead, or I mean, I've known people my whole life, my whole life, everywhere I work, that they're waiting for this check right before Christmas so they could actually get the things. And this is going to be
Yeah.
a hard year for a lot of them. So the idea of making something or an experience would be probably less heavy for them. This is something that just came to my head. But yes, I've always worked with those people that they're just waiting on that Christmas. I've been one of those people that, I'm waiting till the last minute because I budgeted wrong throughout the year. But
Mhm.
there's been always that Christmas magic that when December comes, that all of a sudden, like, wow, everything got fixed like right before Christmas. I mean, you can't rely that that's going to happen. You have to put a lot of effort into it, double effort, screwing up and then fixing your screw up
Yeah.
for that magic to happen. But for example, this year, December has 5 Fridays. So those people that are used to the 4 Fridays a month or whatever, there's that extra Friday this year.
Yeah.
Cool. See, I mean, you don't necessarily have to go personally and do something. I mean, somebody might hear, if they get so far into this episode, they might like, oh crap, there's 5 Fridays in December.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many different things we could do for others. I don't want to focus on just one thing. I mean, I'm a clown. I'll do whatever. Like I said, go on my Facebook. You don't know what my political views or religious views are, like how I identify or whatever, because you could think I'm a Democratic Republican that identifies as a giraffe in a refrigerator. I mean, I'm very random like that. So I don't know. But helping people, and it's not doing stuff for them, but empowering them or
Yeah.
letting them know that they could do something. That's one of the things that I base my life on, because it wasn't done for me at a time, or because it was done for me and I took that for granted.
Yeah.
So I
And
don't know.
I think, yeah, and I think there's a lot of room for that. And I think if we all, pay it forward in some way, that we can help make things a better place if everyone would even do a small gesture.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not that hard. It's not expensive. It's not costly. It doesn't cost a thing.
Mm-mm.
And I think it's easier to smile than to frown. I think
Yeah,
it's a lot easier.
for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I didn't focus a lot on pay it forward, but we're right around the corner from Christmas. So
It's never too late to pay
it's
it forward.
and you don't necessarily have to do it in Christmas, but this is a time that a lot of us need it. Um there's the obvious, like there's people that we're never gonna see. There's people that we're not gonna see now. And there somebody that's probably, and this is based on recent events, there's somebody that you're counting on seeing, and some unwarranted circumstance just happened to take them away from you. And this is something that's happened recently so much, and I've read about it, because you
Mhm.
could just be healthy right there and we don't know if we could record tomorrow. So
Yeah.
that's just part of life, and it's not to make it depressing, it's to actually motivate people. Go out and do something nice, leave your mark on those close to you, but leave even a bigger mark on that person that you're probably going to see once in your lifetime, but they'll probably remember you forever.
Hmm.
And that's, to me, that's all it takes. So, because yeah, I mean, I have friends, or I had friends. They're still healthy, they have their families, but I promise you, I'm never going to reach out again. I don't have anything against them. They don't have anything against me, but it's the time when I was with them. It was fun. I spent a lot of Christmases with them, probably more than most of my family. But I know I left a good impression. They sure as hell did, leave a good impression in me. But it's life, you grow apart. Everybody makes their choices. It's just like high school. You want to go to college with your friends, then you don't go to the same colleges as your friends. You don't study the same things. You don't get the same jobs, even studying the same thing. So it's never too late to leave that great impression. I don't know.
Very true. Very wise.
See, I'm not just a clown. I mean, I could have, I could have my moments, but yeah, I mean, I don't have kids yet, but the day that I do, like, I want them to come into a better world than this is right now. And sometimes we're frustrated because, like, we're getting older, we don't have kids, but then we turn on the news or we read about where we're from in Puerto Rico, and sometimes it's so violent. It's like, come on, we didn't leave it because it was violent. We left it because we wanted a better quality of life. And that's the same thing with, different states, different cities, different countries. And when I do have a chance of having, my full family, if it's God's will that, I'm going to have it, then I want them to be in a healthy environment, and that they're able to share this with other people,
Hmm.
not be mean, not be selfish. And yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Kindness. Yeah.
kill them with kindness.
Yep.
And to close this up, I'll let people just take it down, take it from here. It's in their head, the ball's in their court. If the three listeners that I have were to try and find you, where could they find you at?
So they can find my podcast. I think it's pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. So it's Planning for Christmas podcast, and I have an Instagram and a Facebook with under the same name. And if you're part of Tis the Podcast group, I'm on there. I haven't been posting as much recently, but I've been busy getting ready getting ready for Christmas like the rest of everyone.
Like you planned?
Like I planned. My plans went a little astray this year, but I had some circumstances out of my control, and so I'm just kind of doing what I can and not stressing about it. But what
So
gets done, and what doesn't, I guess, this
so
year.
you found your power of redesign.
I did. I
How does it feel?
redesigned. I redesigned my Christmas, but I think I'll probably have a couple of really late nights trying to get some stuff done. Because I'll decide, you know what, maybe I should have done this. So we'll see how it goes.
That like I said, I'm lucky we could stretch it all to January 6th.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been a good year for us. I mean, we're new friends. We made our friendship throughout this year, throughout other people's podcasts, the recording. We have a few things in common, like we were in the melee, but not together. But
not together, or we probably wouldn't have been friends.
that's how CJ and I became real good friends. They're like, they probably put us there because they don't like each other. Like they're always going at it. And then we go over there and we rip each other apart and we talk like more than anybody. Like I know there are people, and CJ's been on this recording and I've been with CJ in other recordings. Whatever you hear, that's CJ and me. Like we get along like 100%. Like we talk about non-Christmas stuff like every day. So, but we did make history. I don't know if you're gonna make history because your episode's still not out, right?
I know it's still not out. I don't know what happened to it.
Should I name drop like Todd? What the hell, man?
Yeah. Where's the episode?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Todd likes me anymore. I haven't talked to him since that melee, so
who knows?
He said to make history, so we made history.
Right. Hopefully it'll come out someday because it was pretty fun to record.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Christmas Podcast Network. I mean, don't expect snowman and elves all the time. Like it's real people dealing with Christmas theme with a Christmas theme all year. So things are going to happen, and it's pretty interesting.
It's fun.
Kim, thank you so much for coming on my podcast on Christmas week.
Thank you for having me on.
We were supposed to do this earlier, and all the, like you said, circumstances, and I wanted to hold off a little bit. I'm like, maybe I'll hold off till later, but you reminded me. I'm like, okay, so you're ready, so let's do it. And like, what better than the week before Christmas? And happy 2023 to everybody, because these episodes actually get more listens the year after. So I'm not gonna wish them a happy 2022. But for 2023, they're gonna be, I mean, that's what I saw this year from last, and so
like it.
But yeah, you have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. I know we'll be talking randomly, throughout Discord or Facebook or whatever, but thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and you have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year also.
All right. And well, for everybody else, Feliz Christmas, Merry Navidad.